Let's do it. It's like a beach blanket, right? Hi,
Yeah.
Susie.
Awesome. Okay, we're recording, Andra. So we're good to go. We'll kick off our Rising Stars week 5. Who has made it to week 5? Who is resilient? Who is strong? Who is like Robin said, a gritty girl? That's what Robin said she's looking for, gritty. Right, Stacy? She said that this weekend. So awesome. All right, well, let's kind of kick it off. We are going into the second week or third week. I guess it's the third week of July. So basically, we got the third and fourth week left of July. So we're about the halfway point exactly because it is July 15th today. So kick it off. Let's type over into the chat the wins of the week. I will tell you I had a win. One of my wins is I was using our value-based follow-ups from last week when we were doing our power hours. And I sent a message to a gal who I had sent a link to and she didn't order. Well, then she responded back and said, no, this is bad timing. She's going on a vacation in 2 weeks. She didn't need to buy anything or spend the money. And I just reminded her about our summer bundle and that it was 15 days worth. She texted me back a few hours later and said, okay, I think I want to buy the summer bundle. Do you have one on hand? I happen to have one on hand because I had ordered one extra one. She lives in my town. She came over, picked it up and enrolled. And now she started her products and she's already loving the GLPX. So there you go. And she's going to start the rest of the products actually when she gets back from her vacation and order more. Yay. That's my win. Anyone else have one they want to share because we could unmute?
Yeah, it's a small group. I put mine in the chat.
My win is actually personal, Melissa. It's I have fallen, and I'm first to admit I have fallen off in both ways as a partner and as someone taking the supplements. We all go through things in life, and some things are really hard to process. And so Zingler was at the bottom of my list. God answered my prayers, and I'm starting with myself. I am purchasing a kit, not so much as just the 1 or 2. I'm starting fresh. I'm starting over. And I'm big on if you're not practicing what you preach, if you're not taking the supplements, if you're not, and if you are not showing the results, how are people going to actually believe you and believe that the products actually work? The very first time that I took them, I was a walking billboard. I took them and everybody, and I am upset with myself, but I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to start fresh. And that's exactly what I did today. I got up at 4:45. Did my workout. And like I said, I'm going to order my kit and I'm just going to start fresh.
Fantastic. I love it. Love it. Good job. Stacy, do you have a win of the week? Besides making it home safe from Nebraska, coming to the retreat, earning the retreat.
All the way from Nebraska?
Yeah,
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Earned the retreat. I survived my birthday. I'm,
Happy
ready to put.
birthday.
Thank you. I'm trying to put a game plan in place, so I'm gonna get that dang beach towel.
Yeah,
I do have a
50,
lady
right?
that reached out that I haven't talked to in 4 years, so I just don't know if it's quite legit. I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre how it started.
Oh, I've had that happen. People have reached out to me that I've never even talked to, and they're like, was this message intended for me? Oh, yes, absolutely. I want to talk to you about what you're doing and how things are going. And I'm like, okay, let's talk. Do you want to talk in here? Or do you want to schedule a call? They're like, oh, I want to schedule a call. I want to talk to you. I'm like, okay, let's do it. That's how I would do it. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. And then if she says schedule a call, all you have to do is say, sure, let me look at my calendar. And you message me, say, hey, I've got somebody. What are some times that you can hop on a 3-way call? I'll give you some chunks of time and then you can go back, make sure they work for you. And then you can go back and say, hey, I've got time between here and here. What works best for you? And then, you know, you've checked your calendar, which is checking in and seeing when we can do it. And then we just do it together.
Yeah, because she said she's looking for a part-time work to make ends meet.
That's great. Well, I will tell you, when I started doing, or I've always done three-way calls, but when I did three-way, or as I've done three-way calls, my closing rate increased to over 70% too. So three-way calls are huge, and people make a decision faster. So definitely do it.
Okay.
Yep. You just go into appointment setting mode. Awesome. Well, that's a great segue. Me, I pulled myself out of my funk, got messages out to customers and prospects. I got some new conversations starting again. I did 2 reels out of 2 days since making the decision to do reels, and I went live today.
On what sidewalk?
Oops, Susie, you're not muted.
That's all right. I muted
There we
her.
go. Okay.
So I was like, I had made a decision that I was going to do more video for content and just did it. And we had another company, Rodan and Fields, that has learned that coming up here in the next couple of months, they're going to be affiliate only. So they are another company. And it just made me really, really feel blessed that we don't have to worry about that, because Rudy made it clear at the virtual roadshow that at regionals that is not going to happen. And I think he's going to do some other things to help us know that too. Rudy Redback, our CFO, or co-founder, I guess, and CEO right now. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to get myself out of my funk and let's get going here. But that's like a perfect segue when you said I've got to have a game plan, because at the virtual event, regionals, that is exactly what we got to see when we were at Robin's house, was a weekly success tracker. And it's super similar to our success planner and what we've been doing. And it was funny, Zareta, and I don't even know if Stacy noticed this or not because my back was to her, but like Melissa was sitting across the room from me. And so we were looking at each other as Carlos was presenting this, and she just kept like nodding. And we were looking. Did you notice that, Stacy? Did you see that going on between us? Yeah, it was like, hey, we're on the right track. We're doing the right things. And it felt really good to be I mean, I'm not saying it to brag or anything, but it felt good to be like ahead of the curve, right? To know that what we're doing is exactly what we need to be doing, which is content and conversations. Like those are the two things. You got to put it out there, right? That's the fishing. But then the conversations is the follow-up and the hunting and the seeking out and so forth. So like, it's what we got to do. It's what we got to do. So that was really cool to see that. Zareta, did you get to watch the live, or, because I don't know if there's going to be a recording. Is there going to be a recording of the event?
I have not heard of one, but I've had a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
like
don't.
maybe the people that paid for it might get a recording. I don't know.
Now, I did meet with Carlos last month. We
Yes.
met at College Station. And
Mhm.
so I'm pretty sure what he went, or what he talked about was the same thing that he shared here with us. And so he was big about, hosting at your house, maybe 1 or 2 friends. And like he said, the group doesn't have to be big. If it's smaller, it's good because you have that one-on-one connection. So, yes. And Kim England and her husband were there as well.
Nice. Did he show you guys like a success tracker that looks like this?
No.
Okay. So we put it into boards. Do you want me to show my screen, or do you want to, Melissa?
I can.
Okay, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Now the one I put into boards is a image because I couldn't get what Melissa shared with me to load, but she has the original version, so she probably could put it in there as a PDF. But bottom line, it was this. It's basically that game plan is truly like working on what's between your 2 ears, right? In your mindset. And Zareta, you already talked about that. And that was being a product of the product And guess what? In the success tracker, number 1 is using Singular products every day. And you already nailed that. You're like, you've got to be using the product. And then the second one was the one that I really thought, oh my gosh, I've dropped the ball on this. I was doing this every single day until I hit New York, and then I've let it go. So that means starting in May and June, I wasn't doing, well, I was doing some professional development. I want to give myself a little credit because I do professional development all the time. So I can't I can't be too hard on myself, but I wasn't doing my daily inspiration. I wasn't working on my mindset or my affirmations. So today I was like, before I get out of bed, I'm going to play my Think Up app. And it's a recording of my own voice with my own affirmations in my I am statements. And I played it for a couple of times around. I even kind of fell asleep, back asleep again. And I allowed myself to do that. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, I need to play it again. So it's good, right? When our brain, when we kind of relax so much, we're almost in like meditation yoga mode and we're listening. You could do that in the morning and the evening. And then the third one in that sheet is all about, connect, invite, and follow up. So, I jumped, that's exactly what we've been doing. But I would say one thing that like really stuck out to me that is a little bit different, and we're going to talk about it tonight. And it's really identifying those 3 to 5 people that you want to go seek out to become your partners. And those are called unengaged leads. And we haven't really spent a whole lot of time on that. But that is on there. And then there's your post. And then the rest of it is to sending messages to invite to, let's say, an opportunity event, or it could be like what you talked about, Zareta, one-on-one. It could be a phone call. It could be a 3-way call like Melissa just talked about. That's an event. It could be a Zoom. It could be a sip and see. It can be a opportunity event. It could be a product event. There's so many ways to invite, right? Invites, they don't have to be in person. They could be virtual because we don't want to limit ourselves. I mean, yes, doing it in person is great. Melissa is awesome at it. I'm not, that's not my area of strength, but it's partly because of my lifestyle. Like you work all day long, so your time is limited. So I want to maximize my time, globally through social media. So I'm going to want to do as much virtually as I can. And then following up. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's what we've been doing, content and conversations. And then number 4 was kind of put on there a little bit differently than we've seen, which is more of the whole sip and see, give people an experience. And I was talking to Chris, Stacy's husband, at Robin's event. We were talking about how, that could be meeting up for coffee, tea. It could be come over to the house. I'd love to just chat with you. We haven't seen each other. It could be like he's at work, so he may have friends, that he wants to connect with after work. Like they don't want to talk about this at work, right? Hey, when we get off in the morning, why don't you come over and, I can give you a sample or whatever. But it can be a wellness consult. It can be a health assessment. And we haven't really got into that too much either. Some people have. So I was just curious. Stacy, Mark, and Kim Ann, Zareta, have you guys ever given out like the wellness assessment, like the Google form assessment form? I was just curious. I don't think Stacy ever has. That's okay. You have not either. Kim Ann.
Yeah, we have. We've given it out before. And, until we went to the retreat this weekend, I'll be real honest with you, I hadn't thought about it since. We gave it out a very long time ago. We got a great response from it. I wasn't really sure how to use it. And I think it's a great thing for people to use who don't know how to ask the right questions. Like they just know what they're on, but they don't really know how to make the right recommendations. I think some of us on this call, we're kind of used to talking people through product selections, but this does 2 things. It helps determine like which focus to really go with. It helps the person recognize what they need to go with, instead of just you telling them what they need. It helps them have revelation knowledge. And then it also gets them thinking a little bit about, you know, the way a couple people have done it, it gets them thinking about, do I possibly want to make some money with this? That could be good, that could be bad, but usually a new person doesn't know how to bring all that up. They're not as confident. And so this kind of takes you through, like, to me, it takes you through another step. So when I saw it again this weekend at the retreat, I was like, crud, why am I not using that with my babies? You know, I mean, it's not a matter of,
It's so funny
as
that
much.
you say that, because we were talking about the same exact thing. Because sometimes, you know, people will see it put out there like a lead magnet as a post, but it's only 1% of your audience is seeing those posts. But we
Right.
could be using it in Messenger as a
Yes.
value-based follow-up, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. And even just in conversation, you know, I've been talking to a zillion people today about getting people started. And it's like, okay, look, you know, you've got these people who are saying, girl, what are you doing? You know, because they're putting some good posts on Facebook, or they're having some conversations at work. I mean, I've dealt with several of each of those today. And their people are just like, okay, I want to know what's your secret. What are you doing? And they're just like, you know, it's like stage fright. They don't know what to say. And so I think this is just a perfect way to be like, oh my gosh, you know, and put the words in their mouth. I'm new. I'm not really sure exactly which would be best for you, but man, I've got somebody who knows the products, and there's a wellness track or wellness, it's not wellness tracker, sorry, survey, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, sorry. I got excited. Whoa, 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 I've done this like 50 times a day and it's working. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
That is so exciting. So what I'm hearing you say is that you, so talk to us, because this was one of our questions, right, Melissa, was, so what are you guys doing for yourself or with a new brand partner? Because that was part of our goal. And on the heels of regionals, as we talked so much about business, we do start thinking about, you know, we're kind of reminded of what to do for ourselves, but we're also like, how are we helping or modeling a new partner with content and conversations? And that's kind of what you just started talking about. So that's something that we want to really develop. And we wanted to hear from you guys first. You know, how are you helping or modeling new partners with their content and their conversations? Because I think, well, it's kind of like you said, you forget about things, right? We get kind of stuck in a rut, or we can get like slowed down, we can get bogged down, and we need to remember sometimes the basics. So I know Melissa has some things that she does, but we wanted to hear from you guys. Zreda, you have a couple new partners. Stacy, you're working on getting some partners, and Kim Ann, you definitely have a big team growing. Who wants to go first as to like what you're trying to do right now with partners? Doesn't matter. Go for it, Zreda. What are you doing with your two girls that you're trying to really get off the ground?
Okay, so I have reached out to them individually. One has been doing it for a while. I don't know if she's still interested in doing it. And the other one, like I said, she's doing amazing. However, just getting her on the phone to try to move her from where she's at to the next level, it's just hard. And I've tried so many times and it's always an excuse. So I'm not sure really. And I don't want to just focus on her when I can be reaching out to other people as well, you know.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we got to just ask them, right? What do they want to do? But that wellness survey could be something that you could leverage, or you just have that conversation, or you know, say, hey, we haven't talked on the phone for a while. Let's hop on the phone. Let's talk. And I want to know how to help you, what your goals are. I'm here to serve you and help you with your goals. So, and I'd love to know what those are. And then is Jana your upline? Yeah. So Jana Bullard, right? So I would say keep working with Jana like you were, you know, like you said you were doing in the beginning of the call. Kim Ann, what do you guys do when you've got your newbies and you're trying to help them? I know there's a long list, but what would you say you're really focusing on to help model like content and conversations?
I think, you know, one thing is just that I've made some mistakes at, and lately I've just kind of revisited, is I've I've had some people who are new partners, and some people who are more experienced partners, and I've assumed that they know how to run with the ball. Okay. Just because they got handed the ball 6 months ago and scored a touchdown does not mean it wasn't a fluke. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to use that little analogy there because I think we've had some players who have made some plays and we think, oh, wow, they've got it. They're good. And then we expect them to do it on their own and they cannot do it. And one thing I've definitely recognized is, when we're talking to somebody that is our person, our person that we are trying to recruit, we are not nearly as passionate, excited, and confident as when we're talking to somebody else's somebody. So in other words, like if I've recruited you and I'm talking to your people for you, I'm Miss Singular to them. As long as you promote me the right way, as long as you say, hey, this is my friend Kim Ann, she knows exactly what you would need to get on as far as products goes. And if anybody can get you an extra $500 a month to get your products paid for, it is her. I know her, I like her, I trust her. We're going to get you with her. Hold on one second. Click, bam, we're on a three-way. Not, would you like to be on a three-way with my upline sponsor so she can talk to you about my multi-level marketing business, so blah, 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 blah. So I think just teaching them,
I'm
like,
going to stop us real quick. I'm so
Mhm.
glad we're recording this. Did you hear all of that, Stacy?
Hi,
All right.
Stacey.
Did you hear that passion and how you want to introduce Zareta? Did you hear that for Jana?
Yeah.
Like that is the kind of introduction with confidence and edification that you need to be doing this with your upline. And then the thing is if you do that with your new person, then they're going to know to do that with you.
Yeah.
So that's what duplication is. We heard that this weekend. Okay. I just had to pause there for a second because you're so right. But then what, right? So you were saying that you're more excited sometimes helping with others, but what's
Yeah.
sounds like there's an aha there.
Yeah, well, I think what happens is we think that, we've got some people who've recruited, maybe they've made it to manager, maybe they've made it to silver manager. And then we're just kind of sitting here thinking, okay, they're going to naturally progress to that next phase. They're plugged into everything. They're hearing what I'm hearing. They're as excited as I'm excited. No, they go to talk to now their neighbor that was on their chicken list and they're finally going to talk to her, but now they're chicken again. It's like they still need us and I still need people. I've done this on and off, obviously, for 27 years. And Melissa's pointing at herself. She's going, yeah, me too. I can read that sign language. If I go to somebody who knows me and they know me as the deaf education teacher, or they know me as their women's minister, or they know me as their neighbor, that's all I am to them. They do not have a clue that I ever knew what I was doing in multi-level marketing before, or another direct sales company, or that I even know what I'm doing now. They may have seen I've lost weight or I have energy, but I don't have that role with them. But if I say, hey, I want to introduce you, it doesn't matter who it is. I can say my own downline. I can say, I want to introduce you to my girl, Valerie. I've known her for 40 years. So she's lost 20 pounds and 21 inches on this stuff. But let me tell you what, if anybody knows how to hear your voice and your needs and get you on the right combination of products, it's Valerie. Now, girls, I can get people on the right products. I'm really good at that, but sometimes they don't know me as that person. And I need to let somebody else wear that crown and introduce her, promote her the right way, and then let that just go to the next step. And I do it too. I still have those times where it's like, why didn't I talk hard and strong about business with this gal? I know she needs it. It's because I'm judging her. I see her so much. I'm judging if she really needs the extra money, if she really could do this, if she'll really have a party, if she really is in debt or whatever. And I'm too close to the situation. So I'm skewed. And I think that's really important to never think that you don't need somebody else for that third party credibility. And also never think that somebody you're mentoring is really ready to move on from it because you're not. Melissa Corbin is Mac Daddy at this and she still needs somebody. So that's where I think we think, okay, I have arrived. And, no, we have not. So that's what I've just kind of been recognizing lately. And my people haven't either.
Boy, I needed to hear what you just said.
Amen.
I do all my own chats myself. I don't hardly ever introduce them to other people. Every now and then I will, but I don't. And it's interesting to hear you talk about the conviction and how you talked. I adopted that tonight with a gal, and she's like, okay, if that's what you say that I need, let's do it. And it was great to just have more conviction. So it sounds like one thing that you're doing more than anything is modeling for new partners that you understand that just because you've been doing this business for 6 months, a year, doesn't mean that those three-way calls go away, those three-way chats go away, still being there. But it also sounds like you're recognizing that you do have to let them go a little bit, let them try, but that you're still there for those chats. So that's really great. Melissa, what would you say is something that you are doing? Because that's what we're going to start moving into here in a little bit. But what do you think you are trying to do for new partners? I mean, I've enrolled 29 since January, 29 new partners, January to the end of June. And when I look at my numbers, I think, oh my gosh, I should have the most points and I should have all of my extras secured for founders, and I don't. I don't. And so just because people get started as a partner doesn't mean that they're going to be successful as a partner. So I want to hear from you. Like, what do you think we either need to be doing or that you are doing, even if you're trying to work on getting it better?
So a couple of things. I think that people have got to make sure that they are doing either three-way messages or connecting people. Like I even need it for my people, right? And then I always like to refer people back to doing a using the health assessment if they're not sure. Have your person fill this out. That way you and I can look at it both. We can kind of have a game plan together and we can go into the call already knowing answers of where they're at. First, it's going to make the call a lot less, like it's not going to last as long, right? And then from there you can help decide what they need, and it will help lead the conversation into other things. You can maybe talk about business.
Gotcha. I'd say for me, the one thing that I am doing always with new partners and for modeling and helping is I want to find out, and I do it in a way. I do this in a variety of ways, but I really try to find out from them what their initial goal is and try to kind of set the tone for the goal of like, hey, let's at least get your products paid for. In order to get your products paid for and turn your $50 investment into $500 in your first 30 days, these are the things that we need to do. And they're like, I can make $500 in my first 30 days. Yes, you can make $500, if not even maybe more. And typically we do that. I heard today from Whitney Houston. She says, and as long as you're coachable and you'll do these things, then it'll work. And I was like, ooh, that's okay to say that, right? So I do that. And then the next thing that I do is I give them simple steps. I mean, Stacy, I'm sure can remember, but it's like, okay, the first thing we're going to do is go invite to our testimonial group. Let me know when you're done with that. Done. Okay, great. You've done step one. Let's do step two. We're going to do some fun posts. I used to give people a post to just jump out there right away and say, I just got my X kit. So excited. Can't wait to lose up to 15 pounds in my first 8 days. If they are already on social media and if they're already active, then I will do that. But I go look at their social media, you guys. I investigate. I go stalk their page. If they think I'm not doing that, well, they just don't know, right? So I go look to see like, who are they? What are they doing? Where are they at? Do they have 100 Facebook friends? Do they have 1,000 Facebook friends? Like, I like to know a little bit about the person I'm helping. So if they only have a few hundred friends, like I only had 150, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And I will tell you, I did not hit a quick start. I did not hit manager in my first 30 days. It took me 60 days because I didn't have a social media presence. I didn't even know how to use Facebook. I didn't know what Messenger was. I didn't know what a group was. I didn't know how to start a chat. I was clueless. And I didn't even know to invite my friends to the group. You guys, literally, I knew nothing. And I wasn't told to do that because it wasn't as big of a deal 5 years ago. So I go and see where they're at. And then I follow Melissa's lead and I will give them a couple of engagement posts. And I'm going to tell you what, if they can't even go make an engagement post, then I know they're not coachable. And I'm already making a decision as to how much time I'm going to spend with them. And I will go back to them and say, hey, I didn't see you make that engagement post. I'm sure you're probably just really busy. So I give them, the benefit of the doubt, but I give them some posts just to get started with having fun with social media and get their presence out there a little bit. And then I will start, throwing out a curiosity post. Then we will get them with their products, and then we're off and running. But and then it's just three-way chats, getting them started with three-way chats. And those are the 3 steps. That's it. I don't overcomplicate it because those work with the weekly success tracker, you guys. That I'm not going to give them that success tracker when they're new. So the question that we wanted to know from you guys too, because we're trying to see where is this going, content. We know that only 1% of the people see your posts, 5% see your groups and stories and lives. You just really can't say enough. You can be a broken record because somebody's not going to see it one day and they're going to see it the next day. What do you guys need help with on content? That's what we need to know, because that is only one of the step 3. The rest of it is all messaging. We've been spending all of our time on messaging, but Melissa and I are pretty excited about this. And Melissa, I don't need to be the only one talking. So jump in here and, share what you're hoping to get from everybody, because I know this is where we're headed.
So, when it comes to your content, a lot of it, like when we initially started this, we said, okay, we want you to plan out your content. We want you to work really hard, like Mondays and Tuesdays, doing informational posts, doing your authentic reach outs, having a couple of power hours, where you're really being intentional with your time. And then the rest of the week, you can kind of follow up with people, but you still have to post and be present every day, right? And if you can break your day down into the stuff that we shared a minute ago, with what Carlos had taught on, and then that's going to help a ton, because that's going to help you stay focused and get through your day. You have to have that consistency though, still, with what you're posting and with your leads. And so what I think is important is that we know from you, do you or have you finished going through kind of the 14 days of the content and made yourself a plan? If you have not, then that's a great place to start. Or when it comes to your content, are you guys feeling like, you have enough ideas to keep people raising their hand that they're interested? Or like, what is it that you guys are kind of feeling like or needing from us? Or do you know?
I feel like I get more feedback or maybe conversations whenever I post to my story. I post on my wall. I don't know if maybe they just don't want to ask because other people can read it, or whatever the case might be. But whenever I post it, it's like, what is that? Or what is that for? Or how did you make those pancakes? Or where did you get the, like, I feel like I have more interaction whenever I do post on my story. So I try to post on my story every day. Because like I said, that's how I have more communication as far as one-on-one with the customers or just friends.
Your stories, you're supposed to be posting on your stories anywhere from 3 to 10 times a day.
Yes.
And you do get more interactions. So that's good to know. I do feel like for myself, I have to plan out my content enough that I have it kind of rotating. And so one thing that I took away from this weekend for me is, in my time management, I am trying to utilize, and I call it leverage, but I'm trying to leverage stuff that corporate's putting out for us with, like, for example, we have 10% off on XR2 this month. So I'm trying to put that in my stories every day, but then I'm going to come back and do some lives and cover some stuff with that, because then I can promote that. But then I could go back and share from my live, share that into a messenger chat, right? Where I'm doing a value-based follow-up, maybe with a customer, and I'm saying, hey, I've noticed you ordered Zing the last few months. Have you ever thought of or needed some other, or wanted to, like this month, I think, with XR2, I said, if you're really wanting to focus on getting rid of belly fat, XR2 would be a great option for you. In fact, I've got a picture of my friend Melissa Adams, who has been using our XR2. She's been using actually up to four to six of them a day, and it's really helped her waistline. So I've been sharing her before and after in value-based follow-up with my customers and trying to get them to add XR2 to their orders because it's 10% off. So that's an idea for, that's one thing I'm doing to create my content, but then I also push it out through other things. So
What do
the,
you guys feel like you need help with also? Kim Ann, Stacy, go ahead.
I'm cracking up because two things I'm thinking. One is, how does XR2 help with your waistline? I've never heard about that. All I know is XR2 helps you chill out or go to sleep. That's the only two things I know about it. So, I mean, product wise, I've never thought of XR2 as a weight loss product or a trim your waistline product. So one thing I think I need is, some of the lingo as far as just how to talk about what the products can do, and not on a training where you're blowing my hair back. Cause I've been on some people's trainings where not in anybody's upline that's on this phone call, but I've been in crossline calls where they're like, let me train on 48 products, and like, blah, 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 and I can't keep up and my head's spinning and it's too much information. But I definitely would love to know, like, especially when it's a product of the month, a little bit more about that, so that's something I think product training, but not like so intense. That's all we do, but just some product training would be really valuable, especially for people who are, let's say, more experienced, like all of us that are on this call. And then also, y'all, this is going to sound really bizarre. Y'all might kick me off the team, but the only Facebook post I did in the beginning was Mark and I are starting something new, and I'll let you know how I do, but hopefully I'm going to lose weight, with no picture, no nothing. And my closest friends that only follow me on Facebook might have commented on that. But mostly I had a list of, 112 people that we were going through, like calling, going, hey, we're starting something. We want you to start with us. Stacy told us if we get 4 people, we're getting a bonus. So we figured if we got to talk to 50 to get 4, we're doing it. And I think that's something that I feel I've got in Facebook and posting and having everything so social media about just talking to, like, telling my new person, let's get 4 people. And so that's that's how we got our trip secured. That's how we got distributors and 24 customers in our first 2 weeks. It was not social media. That's how we got Extreme Builder Bonus. It was not social media. It was conversations, like face to face. And so one thing we're doing with our people to make sure that they're getting, their bonus winners, we're getting people, is we're focusing on winning the bonus. So instead of like, yes, I'd like you to make a post, and yes, here's some ideas, but that's kind of like I don't want to say it's an extra. It's not an extra. It's a necessary for sure. We should all post. We should all do that. But I think talking to your people and saying, who are the 4 people that we can talk to, that if you said, hey, my best friend, I'm eating this dirt and it's making my butt small, she'd be like, give me the dirt, girl. I'll stand on my head. I'll do whatever I'll do whatever you're doing. That's who I need. Guys say you're foxhole guy. But I mean, like, we've got to get into their warm market that already knows and likes and trusts them, aside from Facebook, and run through that and get face to face, whether it's like this or in person in front of people, and get them jacked up sideways, and then introduce them to people that are in your upline, crossline, whatever, that can also solidify that. Because that's what did it for me. I mean, I didn't have a box. I did not have any products. I'd never swallowed a product. I did not know the lady that sponsored us, but she got me on the phone with another girl in our upline who got me jacked up and told me her story. And then another girl in our upline named Jana Bullard, who told me that I could be the key to unlock somebody's prison. And I was like, what the heck? I love these women. These are my kind of women, and I was looking for that. I was looking for, like, where's my girls? Where's the kind of women that talk strong like me and want to be difference makers, but maybe they've just hit a rut like I have. So with that, those people getting signed up, especially the first 10, 15 or so, we hadn't even swallowed a product yet. There was no Facebook post to make to say, I've lost this weight. I didn't even have products yet. So I think I look back at that, and I did a lot of reflection after our time together these past couple of days, and just thought, what is it that I'm not doing that I used to do? And what is it that I should be doing? And what am I super passionate about? I'm passionate about face-to-face. I'm passionate about talking to you. I'm passionate about seeing you. I'm passionate about that. And I'm passionate about the opportunity that this company has for women like us who want to bring in some extra income, or maybe a full income, but definitely some extra income that's significant. Because I've seen it before, and I've paid for my kids' colleges with direct sales money, and I've paid off cars, and I've paid off houses, and I've seen how much of a difference it can make for your children and for yourself. And I haven't had that opportunity for years until now. And it's like, I don't want to play around with it. So I don't know. I'm not saying we shouldn't do Facebook, but I think like there's a lot there for us on Facebook. But I think if we forget to talk about who's you're for and let's go talk to them, we're doing a disservice to ourselves because we're not building the kind of real relationships. You know, you talk to somebody about their poop, you talk to somebody about their life, you talk to them about what would you spend the $1,000. It's different than if they fill it out on a form. If I hear Melissa tell me why, I mean, when I met your daughter this weekend, I'm in love with her. I love that young lady. I'm praying for her. I'm praying for God to use her in fabulous ways because that's what she told me is the desire of her heart. You know, so when she's telling me that she loves Jesus and that's the desire of her heart, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to gain from that young woman, nothing except for joy. And so that's who you are. That's who all of you ladies on this call are. We're relationship builders. So I think, I'm not saying Facebook doesn't build it, but I mean, most of those Facebook people that we've gotten as customers, are they really going to come if you say I'm broken down on the side of the road? No, they're going to put the thumbs up. I hope you find somebody. Hope you're safe. I'm praying for you. Pray emoji. I mean, they're not really going to show up. And I think we got to hone in on the people that are going to show up for our new people.
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to preach, but I think that's what I'm seeing is like solidifying the trip. That's what's solidifying the next level. That's what's gotten us solid business. So when we hit a rut and we're not recruiting as good, or it's not going as well in the month of July, it's still steady as far as our numbers go, because there's enough good relationships in there.
Mm-hmm. Will you go do a live with me when we're done with this? Let's get on and preach.
I'm all about it with my red nose self.
Well, and I was just going to say, Kim Ann, the passion that you have right now, I'm going to challenge you that I want to see you talk about that on Facebook. I want to see you talk about that on social media, because that is what other people are needing and wanting too. Like, I went live today and talked about the 3 things that I was taking for granted, but I started it off with showing some compassion for other people who were getting the rug pulled out from underneath them, and then talked about those 3 things. And then I ended with, you know, whether you're looking at this or something else, these are 3 things that you should be looking for, and planting seeds, right? So I'm not saying, hey, my company's the best, hey, come work with me. That was just an approach that I took today. But I did talk about the 3 things that I know I can count on in a time when I don't feel like there's a lot people can count on. And so it's the same kind of thing, just a different approach. But yeah, I challenge you to do that. And I think it'd be great if you got on with Melissa, I think, and then I'll be next, right? So Melissa, with content, what I've been thinking about is, since only 1% see my content, I want to have it planned out so it's not overwhelming me and taking a bunch of my time. I want to have it planned out so I can be like, okay, here's my post for Monday. Here's my post for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't really want to think a whole lot about it. I don't want to overthink it, but I do want it to be valuable. I do want it to attract. So when people do accept my friend request, or I do go talk to an unengaged lead who's never looked at my content, the first thing that they see isn't me pointing to a product and saying, here, buy my stuff, right? Like, that is going to be the biggest turn off ever. And that's why we've been working on knowing that value-based content and connection content are the most important. Proof content and invitation content are the least important. They're not important. They are important, but it should be like every 5 posts. Kind of like what you just said, Kim Ann, it's the conversation that you're having with people, not the content, so that they don't actually pop in and that's all they see is, you know, you trying to put up a sale. I've actually never posted since my first year anything that's a sale or a graphic about a sale. Never. I've only put that into stories. And I think that's really helped people to see me not as a salesperson, but as a service provider. as a resource provider, as somebody who can help them. And I've just shown proof along the way with my journey and other people's journeys. But it's more about like, hey, let's celebrate this person. Join me in cheering them on. I'm not usually saying drop me a heart if you want to know more about this. That's just been my style. That's what's worked for me. But I also know in my content, I'm not getting new people looking at my content, new people liking it, new people loving it, which tells me that I need to be thinking differently about what I'm doing. I need to put a little bit more in there about what I have to offer, but I don't want to overthink it. I want to have it ready to go. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to spend an hour every day making a post. I don't have the time, the energy. I want to think about it beforehand and have it, go out there, but I do want to keep talking to my people. So for me personally, I am really trying to find a way that I can make this content and get my post out there, get it done and move on so I can spend more time in the conversations. That's just me, Melissa, right now. That's where I'm at. And I saw Kim Ann nod and Stacy smile. I don't know. Do you guys, am I the only one that's feeling that way? No. Okay. So here we are. It's almost 7 o'clock. We haven't really gotten as much done, but it's been so good to have this conversation. I think we needed it, Melissa, don't you? Yeah, I think we needed it. So typically what we would jump into is we would go and do some actual outreaches right now, right? We would go and talk to warm leads and hot leads. That's what we've been doing. But I think we should grow a little bit and stretch ourselves and do something really uncomfortable tonight. So for 15 minutes, we're going to go reach out to unengaged leads, people who have never liked or loved or commented on our stuff, and be passionate about it. Now, obviously, like Kim Ann said, it's not going to be that person that you don't have any relationship with. You're going to want to go over to your friends and you're going to want to see the people that maybe were looking at your content at some point in time. Maybe they were looking a while back. Maybe it's a really old person that you haven't talked to for a while. They haven't really been very engaged. Or it could be someone that's been on your chicken list a little bit. But we do have some verbiage. Do you want me to show my screen or do you want to show it, Melissa? You want me to do it? All right. So over in boards, I'm getting faster at this whole thing, you guys.
Yay.
What is that? The more we do something, the faster we can get at it. You guys, I learned today how to connect Zoom to your Facebook. And I made a recording to your groups again. So we now have Zoom in our groups one more time. I know how to do it. It took me 2 minutes. It was awesome. And then I went in and did a live with a friend. It was great.
Yay. I'd like to, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. And then I made a recording of it so anybody can have it.
Is Zoom
right,
better to do lives with than a regular live? Cleaner?
I think, yeah, on your page. Yeah, you could still do it. It doesn't have to be in a group. All right. So authentic outreach. I'm just trying to figure out which one it's in. Authentic outreach. I renamed it today. Non-engaged leads. It's actually pretty simple. It's been a while. How have you been? I see you blank, something from their reference, their recent posts, and ask a question about that related thing. That's all you got to do. How many of you guys can go do that? That's not too bad, right? We're not pumping them yet about the business or anything else. However, after you get to talking to them a little tiny bit, and this is going to go on your list, right? This is actually on our success tracker from Carlos. He says to identify 3 to 5 people to follow on social media or connect on Facebook and send an invitation. Well, before you want to do that, you want to get in conversation. Otherwise, you're just a spammy pammy person. So while I have you, I'm curious about something. I've been doing some social media research on my business. You guys are going to love this. Do you ever see any of my posts that I make? This comes straight from Bob Heilig. Then the next thing, I'm not surprised to hear that. Thanks for the feedback. Social media has been changing a lot lately. A lot of my business today is coming from referrals. while I have you, do you know any, and then you're going to name that person that are struggling with the problem, who might be looking for the outcome. So that might sound like, hey, while I have you, do you know any women like you and I that are really busy, you know, raising a family, kind of thinking about what's next for their lives, you know, that maybe are struggling with having enough income to make ends meet? Or maybe they're struggling with kind of being ready for the next phase of life, you know, empty nesters. Or do you know anyone, a woman over 40, you know, maybe they're starting to struggle with menopause or, you know, aging issues, and they really are looking to lose about 20 pounds or more. So that would be more of a weight loss. But this really is designed to find your perfect partner. How would you, Melissa, how would you do this? While I have you, do you know any, what would you say, Melissa? Because my creativity is stifled a little bit.
While I have you, do you know any other horse trainers
That are struggling with what?
that are struggling with making enough money for feed their horses?
There you go. Who might be looking to,
Make some other money that they don't have to depend on just their other income that they have coming in right now.
oh my gosh, that's brilliant. So while I have you, do you know any other career-minded women that are struggling with making ends meet due to our economy, who might be looking to supplement their income with a little, you know, with by using their phones? Might be, and I might even just say who might be looking to supplement their income to help stretch their money for the month. So that is what it is. And then if they have a want or a need, they're going to respond back in a curious way. And then you choose one of these. You're going to actually ask them more about it. You're not going to just jump in and give them the answers. You're going to say, is that a current challenge problem of yours? Tell me a little bit more about the challenges you might have. Or is this an area where you have some kind of interest or goal? You're looking for the problem so that you can, you know, use a follow-up that is going to be that. So this is just kind of a summary of what you would say if they say no. Okay, that's good to know. Social media referrals are the 2 ways I grow my business. On that note, you wouldn't happen to know any blank that are struggling with blank who might look to blank, would you? That's what the whole thing looks like in a nutshell. All of these are right here, and you might be thinking, or at least I know I did, oh my God, what if they say yes? So I asked today Whitney Houston. So let's say we do this because this is what she did to build her business. I don't know how fast she grew. I'm sure, Melissa, you know the stats. I don't know those. But she grew really, really fast, right? It was big, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. She's going to look it up. But what she said was that she reached out to people more about the business. She used the sandwich method. She complimented them. Then she asked them if they would want to look at the business. I think you'd be great at what I do. And then when I said, well, yeah, so what if they say yes and you're a new person like Stacy? And Stacy's like, oh crap, what do I say? Zareta's like, well, I don't know what to do next. Then you go, that's awesome. I would love to talk to you some more about this. Would you like to do a call or a chat? You want to keep talking in text, or can we set up a call?
And I
And
will tell you,
she
sorry,
really like,
Whitney did. She got Extreme Builder. She got all 3 levels. She made 40, or she had 45,000 PV, I think, in about 45 days. And she made all the extra money, and so did Casey Graham under her.
wow. So she said what she did is she just asked him, great, I want to talk to you about this more. Do you want to, let's schedule a call, or would you rather keep talking in text? And they say, oh, I want to talk in a chat. Then you say, great, that's awesome. The first thing I want to do though, is I want to introduce you to one of my friends. I'm going to start a 3-way chat. She's going to help me to explain everything to you. And we're going to see if this is a good fit for you. Something as simple as that. If it's a call, you're going to do exactly what I said to Stacy earlier to do. Oh, that's great. Let me check my calendar and let's find a time that works for both of us. Then you go to your upline and you say, "Hey, I've got somebody who wants to have a conversation about the business. And what do you have available?" You work with your upline to get a couple of different options. You go back to the person, you shoot them the options, and you set up the call. So you don't have to do it on your own. And that goes back to what Kim Ann said, using that three-way chat, right? Getting them in there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go stretch our wings, you guys, and everything is right here for you in boards. But what you will have to do is go over to Facebook and look at your friends. You can sort your friends by oldest friends on your phone. Did you know that you can do that, Stace? Okay, we're gonna let everybody go work, and I'm gonna show Stacy how to do it. And you guys can just ignore us, turn off the volume, and go work for 15 minutes, and we'll go from there. So
Thanks for the
Stacy,
tips.
when you go over here, if you want to keep recording, you can. This person's story is freaking me out, you guys. Like, what is she trying to show? But you know what it's making me do? It makes me want to look at her story. And I'm a woman, and I still want to go look at her story because I'm like super curious what the heck that is. You go to your profile, and it might look a little different on the phone. So I might need Melissa's help. So for me, I have to go here. And then you're recently added. Let's see. Well, this is kind of a fun one to do. You can search your friends by your current city. So these are going to be all the people that live close to me. That's a way to think about it. If you wanted to do that, these are the people that you could be inviting to a sip and see or to an in-person conversation. So if they're interested, that would be a way to find that out. And then if you wanted to talk to people that you went to high school with, you can actually search people by high school. I don't know if this is really true for me or not, you guys, because half these people I don't remember. And then I only have a few for college. The recently added is not correct. On your phone, you search it. I don't know. Can you show on your phone, Melissa?
Yeah, let me see if I can. I think I'm still on the Zoom on my phone. Let me see.
Yeah, you
There I am.
are.
Okay. Okay, so let's see.
And it's not that to hold you up, like we just want you to get into action, but it is kind of a nice thing to know that you can sort your friends by new friends. Those are people that you want to go talk to, like create a relationship with because they're new. And then there's old friends. They might be the ones that are more like your ride or die.
Mm-hmm. Is that how
Maybe.
you do it? The
I
recent?
can't see your screen, sweetie.
Oh, you can't. I can see it on the Zoom.
Oh, duh. I needed to close that. Yeah. So then for me on mine, when I search friends,
Uh-huh.
I can actually do it by oldest friends. Like I get all recent and oldest, but I don't see that on yours.
On my computer, I can do it the way you're doing it.
I found it to where I could do newest to oldest friends.
You found it. That's all that matters. Awesome. All right. So we're going to work.
Okay.
I'm going to work too.
Hey, I'm gonna go find my people. I was like, they're not gonna be on my Facebook. No, these are the ones unengaged leads.
No, not engaging with you. Okay, thank you. Adios.
Go click on your friends icon. And then you'll see how many are online right now, friend requests, and then your friends, and you click your friends, and then now you can sort it by oldest friends first. And for those of you watching the recording, this is a great way to get rid of old friends who have not engaged, that are taking up unneeded space, or they might even be dead.
Repeat
So
one more time how you do it.
yeah, so no problem. Go to the right next to, on the bottom of your screen. And this might not be for you, Stacy, but on the bottom of your screen, there's the two people next to each other, that icon.
Mm-hmm.
Click that. And then you'll see the people you may know list, but up above it are the buttons. The ones that are online, you can actually click those and it'll show you the ones that are online, your friend requests, and then your friends. And if you click your friends, then you'll see the blue hyperlink sort. And then at the bottom, you can sort by oldest friends first.
Dun dun dun. I did it right.
And those of you that are trying to figure out how to add friends of friends, when you sort by your oldest friends, you can click on their friends. These are your oldest friends. Some of them might be your friends also. And you can actually then start adding some new friends from your oldest friend group.
So I just sent a voice message to my oldest friend because she lives here in Weatherford. My oldest Facebook friend, not my oldest friend in life. But it's funny, both of my oldest friends live here. One lives in Fort Worth and one lives in Weatherford.
Hey, Melissa, something that we could get help from Kaylee on is in all of the board's messages, they all have quotation marks in them. If those could be removed, that would probably be helpful.
I bet that can happen. Just sent out 3 messages to unengaged leads.
All right, that took a little bit longer for me. Like I was like, oh, I had to get over myself for a little bit and then find something that I could engage with them on because I didn't want to be, weird. And that's what the first message says, right? Is to like find something that you can talk about. What was crazy to me was that two of them are people that I used to work with, and one was somebody that I actually went to elementary school, high school, and college with. And we hardly ever we never were like good friends, but we definitely respected each other and appreciated each other and, very kind to one another. But we never really we didn't personally hang out. Like she was in a whole different crowd than I was. But I went ahead and did it anyway. So it is 7:30. We've already been on here, believe it or not, an hour and a half. The first hour was definitely not exactly what we thought it would be. It took a little bit longer, but I don't know. I think it was still worthwhile, the conversation. Stacy, did tonight help you, whether it was with mindset or, like you said, your game plan? How did it help you tonight so that we can have some feedback?
Just mindset, give me ideas, um, for to reach out, just like that one that I haven't talked to. I mean, I have one, that one, I'll have to screenshot it and send it to you because even Chris is kind of leery about it because she sent me a picture of a mattress. Like she's selling it. Like, I don't know. Can you see it?
I can.
So it's like, but you click on it and it's not her selling it.
Oh, so like maybe somebody got into her account.
That's spam. Sounds like spam.
I don't click on
Yeah.
it.
I wouldn't click on it.
What I do
But then
sometimes
if
with people like that is I'll say, hey, did you mean to send this to me or was that for somebody else? They're like, oh my gosh, that was for somebody else, not you.
but then you go to her Facebook page and I don't have the option to send her a message. I can only reply. So I don't know how to, unless I put something on her page.
Huh.
So I don't know what to do. If I should reply and just because I got that and I didn't
I
think
would
nothing of
reply
it.
because even if it was spam, you'd have to click on it for it to be spam. But if it's somebody that hacked her, they'll respond and you can figure out pretty fast in conversation if it's a hacker.
Because after that, I just started being a partner with Zingular. Excellent opportunity for you. And she came back and she goes, Zingular, tell me more, please. Will you help me apply? And I thought, okay, that's really strange.
Hey, that's a great question. What's your cell phone number? Let's chat on the phone.
That's exactly what I would do.
Okay.
Great question. Let's back on the phone.
That's exactly what I would do. That's a great question. I want to tell you more about it. What's your cell phone number? Let's do a call.
Okay. I'll
And
do
then
that.
if they like backpedal, then I would go right away and block them because otherwise they're going to try to get into your stuff.
Okay.
Which, by the way, if you've never done, what is it called? Meta verified on your Facebook. If you haven't gone through that process and done, well, even if it's not meta verified, if it's double, what's it called? It's in your settings. It's kind of a pain when you log in, but once you're logged in, it's fine.
Or it does like the double and verification or whatever.
Yeah, if you don't have that, please do it to protect your account. All right. I think we're good for tonight. Don't you think so, ladies? I mean,
Yeah,
if you
I
want
think
to
so.
stay on and keep working, we can, but we don't need to keep recording.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and stop it. But make sure if you guys are doing homework this week, that you're going
Oh,
back
definitely.
and you're actually doing your power hours and you're working through authentic outreaches to hot leads, warm leads, doing transformational content posts, and then reaching out to unengaged leads daily.
Okay.